problems. You're going to have problems. How do you deal with it? Problems with vendors, problems with contractors, problems because you mismeasured. Like these are all the problems that, I find, or problems because, I don't know, thousands of problems. You are a problem solver. We're going to get Elizabeth on here. There she is. She's joining, and we're having her, Elizabeth, join us, talk about problems, because you are solving problems, and problems are a good thing. Why are problems a good thing? Because without a problem, like, what are you doing? You are supposed to be solving problems for your client. The first problem you solve is that they don't have good design, they don't have good taste. So you bring good taste to them.
Hi.
Hi, hey, thanks for joining. We're talking about problems because, I'm
Everyone
sure that,
has them.
right? Problems with vendors, problems with contractors, problems with shipping, problems with, everything is a problem, but you've got to look at it like it's a good thing because without a problem, you don't have a job. Like people don't
We're
need you.
problem solvers. That's what
Yeah,
we are.
we're problem solvers and we do it with interior design. So, you know, but it's how you solve the problem, how you deal with it with clients that's really important. How the relationships that you have created, how those people in relationships that you've created relationships solve the problem. Like, are they stepping up? Are they looking to help find a solution? Are they taking responsibility for the mistakes they made? Like, I take responsibility for my mistakes. It happens. I end up sometimes having to pay for things because I pay for, I don't, there's a mix up on the paint color. I don't know how it happened. Mix up on the paint color. Client's like, well, that wasn't the color we wanted. Somehow in our communications, which of course, like when we have problems and we have a problem comes up, we look at our SOPs, our processes. How do we make sure that that doesn't happen?
Right.
How can we improve that? That's what we look at. So, but it costs me money. I'm like, oh my God. Right. So then you have to look at how do I make sure I don't get that problem again? Right. How do you ensure where was the miscommunication? Right.
Exactly.
Problem with the contractor, having a problem with some wallpaper install, and it was sideways. And now the client's getting upset and worried, like, should we continue it? I don't even think I want wallpaper in here in this space. Well,
I had that happen also with a client years ago.
so what did you do?
So the client, we had selected a grass cloth wallpaper for the dining room. I ordered the paper. The client had her painter install the wallpaper, and I was like, I'd rather have my wallpaper installer do it. Most painters can't install wallpaper, especially grass cloth. You need to really know
Oh,
how
yeah.
to do grass
Yep,
cloth. So
absolutely.
of course, he installs it, and you see all the seams, and you can see some of the glue behind it because you can't get the glue on the grass cloth.
No, you cannot.
So
But we're going to see frame.
right, but they were bad.
Okay.
They were bad. So when we went there, he was like 3/4 of the way through the room, and it was just like, no, 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 this is not what this should look like. So ultimately, it had to come down. She was like, this has to get ripped down. It had to get ripped down, but now the painter that installed it had to cover the cost of the paper,
Of course.
right? And then she ended up saying, let's just paint it.
Right. Yep.
So
And so
that's what
you ended up painting it.
and that's what we ended up doing is we ended up painting it. But the paper was so beautiful, and if it
I
was installed
know.
properly, it would look amazing.
I know. That's the thing. It, wallpaper can give such a beautiful
Yeah.
addition to a room. I love specifying wallpaper, even if it's textured. You know,
Yeah.
it's a, it's like one step up to adding. You can change the paint color. That can make a huge difference in a room.
Yeah.
And then adding wallpaper and add the texture and the change of color, right? And
Yeah.
of course, when you do some kind of custom wall finish, whether it's plaster or limestone wash, I mean, that's really great, but that's like the next thing in
Mhm.
expenses. But yeah, so someone has to pay for it. Or you're like, it's your trade taking responsibility because, you it, things happen.
Yeah, and you
And
have to have the just good communication with whoever you're working with to figure
right,
out a solution.
like, are they willing to help you figure out a solution? And that's
Exactly.
a big telltale, for whether or not this is somebody you're going to continue working with, or whether it's somebody you want to actually work with. Because
Yeah.
I've had contractors that just decided to do their own design thing. Well, the tile shouldn't change right there. It should have been all the way through to the end of the wall. Yeah, but that wasn't the design. That's not what we agreed on.
Right.
Well, I nobody does that. Like, I don't care. I don't care if nobody does it. That's why they hired me, not you, to do the design. So,
Yeah.
but fortunately, the trades that I'm working with, they step up. Because if they don't, I can tell you right now, I will never work with them again. Because it's not even just, okay, there's been a mistake and it needs to be fixed. Like, yeah, the trade may have made a mistake and now needs to be fixed, but it's all your time. Who's recouping that time that you now have to spend on this problem?
Yeah.
It wasn't your fault.
Right.
Client shouldn't have to pay for it. And I'm gonna bill my trade for like, no, you better come up with a good solution. It better now you have to not only do what you do well, but do it better than well because we can't have a second issue because now you're wasting I mean, you've already wasted my time. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, problems, but we can have problems, so that's a good thing. And then it's also how you deal with it with the client. And I have found that the best way is listening to them and saying, I hear you, I totally understand.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right. And we are going to address this problem. I'm not sure what the solution is, but we will find a solution and make sure it gets done.
Yeah, that's all I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah. But some people don't. Some people just run away. I hope that's not you
That is
because
true. Yeah, and that I don't understand when
yeah,
people do that. They
it
just
sucks.
ghost you and they stop answering the phone,
Yeah.
which makes it a million times worse. That is never the right way to handle a problem
No.
by not addressing it and having a discussion about it and just being honest with it.
Yeah. I've had clients say, "Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. I
Mhm.
feel better. Like we're finding a solution. That sounds great." And we work on finding a solution. Yes, it's making the project go longer. Yes, it wasn't anticipated, but we will fix it because they've also invested thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours. They're probably displaced because you're working in their home. The inconvenience of that. So how do you make sure that that doesn't continue?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and you don't want them to be walking by every time going, shit, that looks terrible. That looks bad.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna now that they're focused on that problem, they're gonna see it all
Yeah.
that time. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, once I've done one project, I've done one project. I get to learn what the next project's problems bring, and hopefully it all comes down to processes to make sure people are communicated and that the information that they need to finish the space and understand how the space can be done. And then, them knowing that they can actually do it. Like, did they do it right?
Yeah. Well, while we're on this topic of communication,
Yeah.
so I met with a new client last week. Super nice family. They do not live here full time, so they just kind of pop in for short visits, right? So they're not here, but they had to furnish a new place that they bought. So they they're from up north, so they work with a designer up there on their house. But now that they're here, when she called me, she was like, it's really hard for the designer up there. She won't travel. So for her to understand like the space and the
Right.
sizing So I ended up going there for a consultation. And I know she had said she had gotten some pieces of furniture already, but I didn't think it was that many. So when I got there, most of the house is furnished, right? So some of the furniture is too big. Like the sizing is not really what I would do, right? Like, so there's like, as soon as you walk in, there's a living room. There's like two really big sofas that which are pretty much too big for the space. Like I wouldn't have put two
Mhm.
full size sofas, right? But they have like a rug. So there's like certain pieces that need to be filled in, but a lot of it's done.
Mm. But not done well or done how you would like it to be done. That's the problem.
Right. So what I loved about the project is she loves color and patterns and textures and all the things. So I was like, "Oh, this is a great match." She has pink sofas. So I was like, "Yes."
Fun.
But also when you're working on a project like that that has a lot of color patterns and textures, you're very, when you have to fill in pieces instead of starting from scratch and having like a million choices, now you have a very narrow
Good.
window of what exactly you need to find to
Very true.
blend the
Yep.
sofa color, the colors in the rug, the color in the chair, to bring that all together. So that makes it a lot more challenging and time consuming than
Yeah,
if we were
absolutely.
just doing the house from the room from
I
scratch.
agree. I mean, it does take more time. At the same time, it doesn't because you're not doing it from scratch. But then you just have to allocate extra time, like
Yeah.
double the amount of time you would take just to fill in, like I don't know, pull in those kind of pieces. I've done that. It's actually what I have said is, in terms of pulling in pieces, is I've done what I've said. I'm only going to go around and get what's in showrooms that fit, so that I'm not specifying custom stuff.
Yeah. No, and they don't want custom stuff, so that makes it, that narrows the choices down.
Yeah, so I just went to the showrooms and I said, "Okay, what have they got?" And then we made some custom pillows. We needed a carpet, but I used the broadroom
Okay.
and made it the room size. But I said, "Look, we're just going to go with what I can find in the showrooms that I use. I will use that." It was pretty, for the amount of time because now I was really stuck to because again it was the same thing. They had most of their furniture undersized for the
And a
room.
lot of it is disconnected too, like the
Yeah,
colors, right? They don't have the pieces needed to make all of it make sense together.
yeah,
Sometimes with piecemeal projects like this, I don't even take them. It kind of
yeah.
depends on, the client and where they're at, but it's a fun project and the colors are fun. So I'm thinking about it, but I might do like a sourcing day just to start it. This is not that many pieces.
Right, but
And
don't
see.
don't undervalue, don't underestimate the amount of time that's going to take you to do it.
No, trust me, I know because the palette that she has is not easy to work with.
Because you said pink.
Well, it's pinks, it's yellows, it's like a bright
Okay.
tropical kind of palette. So yeah. Like bedding, like the bedding that she needs is really like should be custom, like the fabric and stuff, but I know we're not gonna go, she doesn't wanna go that route. So I have to like find something in stock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. But sometimes you have to go to the project, meet with a client because when you talk to them, they may think they want some one thing like where, she was the way she explained it to me, she wanted full service design, but when I got there, I'm like, "This really isn't a full like, a big full service project
Right.
because you have so many pieces already."
She just
So
doesn't want to do it.
yes,
Right. She just wants
exactly.
the help, not having to do it. Because what I find 9 times out of 10, people, say, oh, I just need a few things, and then I get there, I'm like, no, like there's a lot of work here. It's very unusual that people have most of the stuff,
Yeah,
and that you know, like I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, but
And it's
yeah,
just furniture too, like, there's no art on the walls, there's no
yeah,
accessories, there's nothing to, like, really make it feel finished, and if I do it, I wanna add those things to really
yeah,
finish it, I don't wanna just
yeah.
put, "Okay, we need a console here and a table there," like, no, we have to really fit.
Yeah.
make it all make sense.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It is a bit of a challenge when you're already stuck with pieces that you wouldn't normally want in there and they're not in the right proportion or the layout that you necessarily would work with because you're like, I don't see how this is working.
Yeah, exactly. So, challenges, every project is different, but that's just something that happened last week. What
What?
else? What else you have going on?
Well, I have a lot of kitchens that I'm working on right now.
Oh,
So, so I'm really excited. We just finished up the design for one kitchen, very modern kitchen, and now we're just doing the dining room, which
okay.
we've done the presentation. He loves it. It looks great. And we're not going to start the project for another month or two. So Amelia from Naples says, ladies, I had a few minutes and wanted to jump in. All the best, Amelia. Thank you, Amelia. Glad you could join us. So, but I love doing kitchens. And this kitchen looks nothing like the kitchen that he has.
Well, that's
But
fun.
he did a really fun thing because what I do is I make my all my clients, and I think I might employ this. I make all my clients, I give them all the elevations and say, okay, just decide what goes in what area so you know whether we want a drawer, you know, shelving, pull out, what it is, because all those pull-outs and accessories are more money. And there's no point in making drawers if really what you need is, I don't know, just a shelf. So
Yeah.
I have them go and vice versa. Like I'm going to put a cupboard in there and what you need are drawers and then you can do annoyed. So I gave them the elevations. I also gave them a list of all the items that a kitchen would have. I mean, people don't always have more or they don't always have all those items. So what he did is he took all the four elevations and he put them like on a piece of paper, like a blueprint size piece of paper. And then he took sticky notes with every piece of thing that he would have and he put it in the space that it would go.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, well, I will need this and have that. And then he's like, okay, I wasn't sure I had some of these. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm like, okay, well, this is easy and we could move the
Yeah.
post
That's
it.
fun.
Now, granted, it may not be exactly like that we actually, we actually moved in, but at least he knows he has, he probably figured 80, 90% of it out. And then there's those few things.
Hmm.
And does he have enough storage and he has the right storage for it. So we kind of went through that. And I thought it was really cool. So you had this spread there with all the
Yeah.
documents. Like, okay, maybe I will get my clients to do that going forward. Or give them the
Yeah.
paper and say,
Putting a puzzle together.
it really was. Yeah, it was really cute. He was very organized. I'm like,
That's
the
good.
our student. Our
Yeah.
student, yeah.
It's like when
So
we were growing up and you had like color forms. Remember?
yes.
You could like
Yeah.
move them around.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it's
fun.
super helpful.
Yeah. So I love that idea and I thought it was useful because I can think about how I use my kitchen and that's usually how I design, okay, I want the dishes close to the dishwasher but then people work differently, they don't want some people don't like spice pullouts. I do. So I start with that design and I'm like, okay, you don't want a spice pullout, that's fine. We can do something else there. I don't want to give it to you because that's an expensive accessory, a spice pullout, if you don't need it. Yeah. I really like his idea. I'm gonna use that one. SOPs got changed. I'm like, I don't know SOP.
That's fun. Yeah, the kitchen that I'm working on we were supposed to have a meeting on Thursday with the contractor and the clients flying in, and everything was supposed to be demoed, and it's not because still waiting on a permit. So she just texted me yesterday. She's like, they haven't started anything, the contractor, so nothing's demoed. So we'll have to
They
delay.
can't start demo without permit?
Yeah. So I was hoping to go there and see everything demoed because they have a crazy kitchen. When they bought this house, the countertops are super high.
Weird.
Like,
Maybe the person was very tall.
no, I asked that. No, they were not.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. The countertops and the island is all like bar height, very high. The sink, everything. I'm like, how? I don't know how anybody works in this kitchen.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
The
crazy.
before and after is gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah, they're gonna love you.
Because the before, they also made whoever did that kitchen made the island, like, super long. Like, it takes up the whole entire space, like, almost to the wall. It's so bizarre. It's so
People
bizarre.
do a lot of bizarre things.
I'm like, "What contractor put this kitchen in like this? I don't
Why is a
understand.
contractor?
I don't understand. It, like, doesn't make any sense."
So this is my new thing. I've joined Metropolitan Builders and Contractors Association of New Jersey. I'm meeting a lot more contractors, etc. And of course, you're on the board over in your contractor and business, your builders association in Naples. But I've been talking a lot more about kitchens because people, I think, relate to that more, and they don't think of interior designers in kitchens. And I've been telling people that the best, with my networking groups and other people that I know, the best thing to call me is, yeah, it's just a contractor, especially when talking about kitchens and bathrooms, because clients will always call the contractor first, and they call them in and say, hey, I want a new kitchen. The contractor says, okay, well, this is how much it's going to cost. Based on what? Based on the kitchen that they have, which they don't like. So is it they don't like the layout? Do they don't like the color? And chances are it's not just that they don't like the color, but they also don't like the layout. They
Yeah, the
don't have enough storage,
functionality.
right? But the contractor's looking at it and he's only going to do what he sees.
Yeah.
So it's the worst time to call in a contractor and just doing a lot of educating, saying, talking about get the interior designer in there. We can
Mhm.
create the whole kitchen,
Yeah.
have all the details, and then we'll pull the contractor in. And now the contractor can actually give you a price that's
Yeah.
reasonable for a kitchen that you actually want because we've worked through everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I met with a client a couple months ago who was in the middle of a kitchen renovation. So she called me in literally mid-project, and
No,
the
yeah,
contractor was there, and so she just wanted to do some consulting and ask me a few questions. So I look at their plans, and the kitchen island, the sizing of it was wrong, right? So I was like, "Well, it's early enough. You can change the size of this island." And the contractor was building it out so that it was gonna be too close to the wall once you put stools there and had
yeah,
people sitting, right? And I said that, once you put stools here and you pull them out and people are actually sitting in them, there is no space for anyone to walk behind. Like, your
right.
chair is gonna be just about touching the wall. And I tried to really explain this to the client, but he was insisting on it, and he's like, "Well, I've done this in houses before, and this is what I do." And I'm like, "Well, I understand that, but," he's like, "Well, how often is someone gonna sit on that side of the island anyway?" Is what he said. And I was like, "But if you're putting chairs there and it's meant to be an island, like, if you're entertaining people and you're having people over, people are gonna be standing over there and sitting in those chairs." So, I was like, if this was my kitchen, I would not do it that way. You can do whatever you want, but you've brought me here for my expert opinion, so I'm giving it to you. You need a certain amount of clearance.
Right. Or at least like this is the thing. At least you know that. Are you willing to put up with that? Fine.
Yeah.
Because I've done that where the door swung into the kitchen and it would have significantly it would have meant that we really didn't have an island.
Mhm.
So, and you couldn't swing it the other way because it was swinging over the top of basement stairs, so it didn't work. And it was just decided that, okay, we understand that, and 99% of the time, we actually keep that door closed. It's when
Okay.
we're going, since we access the garage and we go in and out that way, we know we won't be sitting at the kitchen at that time. So we just know that compromise. Like sometimes it's a
Yeah.
compromise. Okay, I
Of
understand.
course.
Right,
But these people wanna have the seats because they have a big family, so they're gonna be using it.
right. So then know that you don't have the space, and
Yeah.
as long as you're willing to understand that, you're good. No,
Yeah. That's why I just like to educate them and let them be aware of it. This way, once they see the island go in, and then, because it always looks bigger when there's nothing in there.
yeah.
Then they start putting it in, and then she'll be like, "Why did we do that?"
Well, part of an interior designer too is just showing where the compromises are going to be because you're going to have to compromise. Even
Of
when
course.
you build,
Yeah.
people think, "I'll just build it exactly like I want." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be nice, except there are going to be compromises because
Yeah.
you can't build it like that because it's not possible or it's not to code, or it's it's just you either decide you want big island or you want aisles. Like, which one do you want? Because you don't have enough space for a big island and a big aisles, whatever the case may be, or it
Yeah.
depends, on the situation, of course. But it's like you either get this or you get that, and which one is more important to you? And then if having a big island is more important, then you know that you have to compromise on this, and that's okay with you.
Mhm.
But let them kind of know because a lot of people don't understand the repercussions. Oh, well, it looks like it fits on the piece of paper. No, doesn't fit. We have lots to say about lots of things in interior design every week on Tuesdays, usually, although it's Monday. You got lucky this week. We're early. Elizabeth and I are on here every Tuesday at 4. We're here Monday because something is happening tomorrow and we aren't able to do it. So we jumped on early to have a chat. We talk about design too all the time. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, love to hear from you. Put them in the chat. Send them to us. Yeah. Anything else?
DM us with any of the issues or problems that you've been facing if you want us to talk about it.
Yeah. Because we know it can be trying as a sole proprietor, if you're a sole proprietor or if you have a small team or just as a business owner, that these are the issues that come up. What do you do about it? Or just hearing like you are not alone.
Yeah.
Because that's how Elizabeth and I started talking. You're not alone. I hear you. I don't know. This is what I do. And Elizabeth has helped me out so many times in those situations. And it's made the road a lot easier. So we hope that this design team on Tuesdays at 4 will help you too.
Yes. So we will see you next week, Tuesday at 4.